other site in the game can see the boxing voice.
Just want to let everybody know we got Ken and Shawn Porter on. What's going on, guys?
Everything's good.
Man, I'm taking a lot of heat for uploading a leaked video here, man. Did you see those comments?
No, I ain't read no comments.
Don't even go there. You don't need to tell us how's things going, man. You know, everybody wants to know about camp and weight, the obvious questions, and also, could you just let us know why those questions weren't allowed to be asked at the press conference? That was a bit odd. You know, one of my guys tried to ask the catchweight question, and Ellerby shut him down.
I'm not familiar with that. Shawn, did somebody ask you catchweight questions?
I was told, Ness, I was asked catchweight questions, answered them with no problem. I was told that every time one of those questions was presented to Adrien Broner, he literally said, I don't want to talk about catchweight, and he also said, no comment to any catchweight questions. So,
yeah, I mean, it was obvious. I was talking about the other side because it's all on video. You know, Leonard Ellerby saying like we're not here for that. So I just found it weird. And did you find out that second part? You know, when I texted you earlier this week about is the rehydration clause both ways? That's interesting to me. Is he allowed to get bigger than 10 pounds, or is he also restricted? Because that would be something, I guess, almost unprecedented for one fighter to be the only one to have a restriction on gaining weight. That would be a little weird.
No, I haven't seen that, but you know that'll be a problem they'll have to deal with because they're not going to be able to get that off. That's not going to happen, you know, and that's just going to shed more light on the fact that he's afraid to take the fight against Shawn, you know, at 147 pounds. So if that does happen, if that does occur where somebody says, "Oh yeah, well, you know, Shawn's got to make that," and I don't see that Adrien has to make the same exact weight. You know, he's got to weigh in with us the next morning as well. If he doesn't have to weigh in with us the next morning, then we're not weighing in. Simple as that.
Yo, so let me ask you something about the weight specifically, because almost every person I talk to that is picking against Porter or Shawn on this fight keeps saying the same thing. I think that he's going to be drained by the weight. I mean, we've seen the videos of you guys, you know, with your his heart rate that's down. I think 57% or 57 beats per second or minute. That's crazy. But it just seems like a lot of people are only picking against you simply because of this this catchweight at 144. Like, how can you, I guess, set the minds at ease that this isn't an issue? Seeing that in his last fight, it didn't seem like he struggled to make weight, but he definitely didn't make it easy.
Who was that?
Shawn, didn't he have to strip down for the Brook fight?
No, Shawn was playing around.
Okay, I was just saying, but like I guess with the thought.
No, he was playing around. He just at a given moment he just decided he was going to do something to bring some attention to himself. That was it. It had absolutely nothing to do with him not being able to make the weight. But as far as all of that's concerned, I can't explain or get anyone to understand. Not a fan. I wouldn't even start. I wouldn't try. More than likely not a coach. I wouldn't even start. I wouldn't even try. It wouldn't be something I would try to do. It would only be through somebody who actually is living this lifestyle and understanding because they actually live it, not just partially or partly, or when a fight comes up, they decide that they're going to live a certain way. And because Shawn has chosen to live this way year round, this is his lifestyle, because he's decided that this is what he's going to do until he's done. When we got the phone call to take this fight at this certain weight, at that point in time, we were only about 13 to 14 pounds above that weight. So you do the math on it. We were already aiming towards fighting on the Mayweather card. You do the math on it. When we didn't get that fight on the Mayweather card, we didn't stop. We didn't lose our mind. We didn't hit a club. We didn't go crazy and eat. We still maintained. So this isn't something that we just decided to do. This isn't something we decided to do for this fight, or we decided to do for the Brook fight, or decided to do for the Malignaggi fight. When he decided to turn professional, we immediately said, okay, there's no more football, so we don't need the football weight. So we leaned his body out. him drop down to 54 with no problem. Okay, and then after a while, we start coming into 54 fights. We coming in at 50, 51, and we say, okay, we need to go ahead and make a concentrated effort on going ahead and going down to the next class, which we did. So I can't explain any of that to anybody because they won't understand it, because they live just camp to camp, and they live, okay, it's time to get in shape, and they live, okay, it's time to lose weight. So they don't live this as a lifestyle. It's just something that they do when they're getting ready for a fight.
Ken, let me ask you a question that has to do with weight, but on the opposite side, because I read an incredible article the other day about all the talk around the weight that y'all, are coming in at and blah, blah, but nobody's focusing on Broner's weight. Nobody's focusing on the fact that if out of the two of between Porter and Broner, he's the one that's been blown up in the past, and not in the past, recently. He's the one that's made some, questionable lifestyle choices as of late. If this was a fat camp for Broner, how is he going to pay for it against a worker like Shawn?
I was referring to him in everything I just said. I can't explain that to somebody who can't fathom that. A guy like, they couldn't send that kid to me and say, all right, Ken, we're going to give you $1 million to train him, because he will walk out of my door and act a fool. So I don't put myself in those situations. I choose not to train other people for that specific purpose and reason, because these guys don't respect what they're doing. They don't appreciate what they're doing. They don't consider themselves even to be professional athletes. They think they're entertainers, or, like Adrien, he has always wanted to be something that he wasn't. He wanted to be a boxer, or he wanted to be a rapper, or he wanted to be Floyd Mayweather, or he wanted to do this, or he wanted to be a basketball. He's a wannabe. And a guy can't get ready for a guy who's been preparing for this his entire life. You can't get ready for him in 5 weeks or 6 weeks. If you ask me how many football practices Shawn missed his entire life from 7 years old to his senior year, I'm going to tell you none. If you ask me how many times he asked me if he could not go to boxing practice from the time he started at 4 years old to this day, I'm going to tell you never. It never happened. If you ask me how many times he didn't want to go to school because he just didn't want to go to school, maybe playing sick or just didn't want to go, I'm going to tell you it never happened. So this foundation has been laid for his entire life. This is how he does one thing, is how he does everything that he does. He does it the same way. So a guy like Adrien, who's never been able to do anything and complete it, whether that was playing team sports or going to school or staying focused on boxing year round, it's going to show up on fight night.
So, Ken, let me ask you something, because we've interviewed quite a few times on this show. I'm going to be straight up with you, too, because it seems like right now, this is probably the most abrasive I've ever heard you give an interview before. Like, you seem like you're very defensive about something. So I want to ask you straight up, one, what's the purpose for the abrasiveness? Is it just exhaustion from the camp? Or two, I guess this would be a two-part question. It seems like there's a little bit more coverage on Adrien Broner right now than there is on Shawn Porter. Does that frustrate you, knowing that you're coming into this fight almost with a better proven record, because you did beat Devin Alexander before Khan did. You did knock out Paul Malignaggi, where Broner looked terrible in. Does it annoy you that he won? Where's the frustration?
The answer is no to both of those. I'm just trying to put emphasis on the fact of a lifestyle, and I'm very, very happy and proud with the fact, if Shawn decided that he didn't want to box today, if he was done with this, I know that he'll go on to do things that'll be positive and I'll be proud of. Okay, so it has absolutely nothing to do with not the coverage that we don't get, because Shawn don't even want the coverage. You know what I mean? He didn't even invite his mother to the fight. That's who he is. That's who I am. We don't have those kind of situations where we want that kind of stuff. And I'm just putting emphasis on the fact that this is somebody who's been this way his entire life, and it just doesn't matter that it's boxing. He's not boxing because he has to. he boxed because he wants to. There were so many other things that he was successful in that he could have continued on to do, and he was a very good student. He graduated 3 months early, so I'm very proud of those facts. There's so many more things, that intangibles that he's taken into the ring with him, that he's going to be able to reach back on fight night, that the other guy we're fighting is not going to be able to reach back on those things. He just ain't going to be able to pull them out of him. You know what I mean? So there's no absolutely, you know, if you hear that in my voice, that's just, you know, I'm ready to fight. He's ready to fight. We just have to wait until it's time to get in the ring. But, you know, everything that we're doing and everything that we've done has come out exactly as we expected it to. His weight is great. We don't have no problems there. I just went grocery shopping, brought a whole bunch of groceries in the door. He got a big smile on his face. He's happy about that, you know. So, you know, everything is good with us. We just, you know, biding our time, just, you know, waiting these last few days out.
Ken, I gotta ask. You've always been confident, and you've always obviously believed in your son. He's your son. So, what's the difference between this Shawn and Ken Porter? Because you've been always the vocal one. Obviously, Shawn he's the good guy. You know, you're the Angel Garcia. You know, just not Angel Garcia. But I say that to say, what's the difference between this version of you and Shawn and the last one with Brook? Because obviously you didn't think Brook was on your level. You thought that, you know, him not having the level of opposition that Shawn had, that you were not going to lose, but things didn't go that way. So how are you again so confident that Broner's not on your level, that he lives this lifestyle that Shawn doesn't live, and that Shawn is going to somehow prevail because he's healthier, stronger, more mentally fit? I mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference? Well, as far as Kell Brook is concerned, there's no lack of confidence there as where Kell Brook is concerned. We would be willing to fight Kell Brook again. We have absolutely no problem fighting Kell Brook again. When two people get in a scrap in the street and everybody's watching and all their buddies are watching, and yeah, my boy whooped your boy's ass, and the other guy, no, my dude did this to you, and then no, my guy body slammed you. Those two guys know what was really going on that night. So Kell really knows what was going on that night, and Shawn really knows what was going on that night. We have absolutely no problem taking that fight. We're still confident about beating him. Okay, we still feel confident there. You know, as far as Adrien Broner is concerned, we're confident there. My confidence in Shawn doesn't come from, oh, we beat Paulinho Malignaggi or we beat Devin Alexander. My confidence comes in Shawn from what I told you, his foundation as the person that he is and the things that he's done throughout his entire life. Someone asked me, why did Shawn fight so many amateur fights? Because he was winning. That's confidence. That's confidence. When you go into the ring and you beat those guys, that's where that confidence comes from. So we can reach back on all those 275 wins. We can reach back on all that international competition. We can reach back on all of those sparring sessions. We can reach back on all of that training and all of the things that we've done to get to this point. And we can say, you know what? We've been successful. We expect to be successful. If we're not going to be successful, the other person in front of us is going to have to prove it to us. And he's going to have to do it 12 rounds until the fight is over with. It's as simple as that. So nothing has changed as far as confidence. It doesn't matter that he's my son. If I had somebody else that was doing it like this, I would say the exact same thing about him. You know what I mean? And he's not the guy that's going to say, hey, look at me, or you know, I'm confident to do this or that. But you could ask him. He's probably going to tell you, yeah, well, I used to go down the road and whoop everybody's ass in Cincinnati, and Adrien damn sure wasn't one of them. And it didn't matter to me who I fought when I went down there. So that's confidence. When you're doing those things and you're living that way, we used to go down there all the time. We're confident in that. When we paid him to come and be our sparring partner, he was our sparring partner. Okay? He didn't come into camp and beat us up. We paid him to come in and be our sparring partner. You know, so there's a confidence factor that's there from his foundation in every place he's been and everything that he's done on every level that he was successful in. That's where your confidence comes. So we would love to fight Brook again. They have no interest in taking the fight. Don't y'all see that? They're fighting quiet people. You know, they fight the Heyman fighters and they're fighting other little guys over in England. They don't have no interest in fighting us. That's no interest in there. So no confidence factor changes here with us. It's the same.
That's I just didn't want to cut you off, but that's not
No.
what I'm implying. I'm saying that the confidence is there, and it was there in the Brook fight. So what is the difference?
What do you mean? What is different?
Okay, well, what I'm saying is you were confident when you guys fought Brook, and you spoke like this, and you didn't fathom a loss. And now we're in the same situation. You're looking at it like, you know, you've known him from the amateurs, you know him from sparring. You like it just sounds like in your mind losing is not even a possibility. And my question is, okay, so then what is different from this version of Shawn and Ken? Because you guys thought the same thing versus Porter. I mean,
there's no difference, man. I don't know what I can tell you that's going to make you understand. We don't feel like we lost to Brook. You feel we lost to Brook. We don't. We didn't get our ass beat. He didn't knock Shawn down. He didn't put Shawn on Goofy Street. He didn't have Shawn on the ropes beating the hell out. There was no point in the fight that I was worried my kid was getting hurt. We got held more than we got hit. The punch stats at the end of the fight, there's what? 4 or 5 punches difference landed. There's nothing going on there that makes me feel any different now than I felt then. Nothing. So because his hand got raised, I don't feel any different about my fighter. My fighter didn't do anything different after that as far as like changing his lifestyle and becoming a person that hung out or didn't come to the gym or didn't train. He hasn't done anything that would make me feel any less confident in him than he was before he went into that fight or he is after that fight. As a matter of fact, we're looking forward to the fight with Adrien Broner. We have every bit of confidence. If Adrien hits us in the mouth, we're going to hit him right back to his. That's a fight. That's why they call it a fight. Simple as that.
Okay, let me ask you straight up though. Who do you think is a better fighter, Shawn Porter Kell Brook or Adrien Broner? Obviously, they're different, but if they had to fight each other, who do you think was the more credible opponent and why?
Well, I'm gonna take a guess and say that Kell Brook will be the better fighter. Number one reason being in that, you know, Shawn is used to fighting bigger guys. We're used to fighting bigger guys. We've taken on bigger guys very throughout our career. That's been what we did in the amateurs. That's what we did in the pros. Whenever we fought in certain situations before we came all the way down to 47. Adrien probably would not be able to adjust to fighting a bigger man. That's going to be a problem he'll have to deal with on fight night with us. Okay? So that part of it, but if they were straight up, even up, maybe if Adrien could discipline himself to stay at 140 pounds all the time and would fight the guy straight up, maybe there'd be some kind of chance there. Maybe. But he's looking at a guy that's probably going to be too big for him, and he doesn't know how to adjust to that situation with a Kell Brook. So I would give Kell Brook the benefit of his size being able to overcome the smaller guy. That's just the situation that he would be dealing with. So he probably can't do that. We're used to doing that. So we're used to taking on those type of fights, and we would take that fight again, whereas somebody else would look at it and say, I don't want to fight that guy because he comes in the fight too big. We look forward to fighting Kell if that's what we're dealing with. But I mean, we want to have everything, that we can as far as, making sure that we don't have the same situation where a referee does not stop a guy from fouling the entire night. Okay. I mean, at some point in time, you got to say, all right, you guys got to fight. Whoever wins the fight wins the fight. If you use defense to win the fight or offense to win the fight, but you can't hold the man the entire night and win the fight. And just like I said before, there's no way in hell we could have went to England and grabbed that guy and held him and won a fight. I know they wouldn't have gave us a decision, but it is what it is. So we move forward. This is a bigger fight. It's bigger in the United States. Nobody cares about that fight anymore. So we're looking forward to next Saturday night, less than 7 days now. And we're looking forward to having a great fight with this kid. Hope he comes to fight. If he comes to box, then we're going to box with him. If he comes to fight, we're going to fight with him. He's going to have a lot of things to deal with throughout the night. So, this is where we at right now. We in that mode of Adrien Broner. We're not looking back at the other guy that we used to fight. Maybe in the future we'll get that shot.
Now, Ken, when Shawn and Adrien did spar, was there a big size disparity? And did Shawn manhandle him physically in the session? Is that why we're having this catchweight right now?
No, we never manhandle the guy in the sparring sessions because we do a lot of things in sparring sessions that are just fight specific. So we were fighting a guy that was going to be moving more and boxing more, and we asked Adrien to move more and box more, and he was comfortable with that, and that was pretty much the expectation from him, and he knew that coming in, and his coaches gave him that. Hey, man, Shawn is not going to come at you if you come down there because he needs you to move. So you come down there and you move around with him and you can get this money and you spar with him for a week and, and that's what it was. But, at another occasion when we went to Cincinnati and we were getting ready to fight, and I think, was it Alfonso Gomez fight, and we knew Gomez was going to be coming to fight. We told Adrien he had to step his game up, and he point blank and simple said after one of the sparring sessions, what did he say? You remember? He apologized. He said, "I'm sorry, coach, but Shawn is just too strong." It is what it is.
Ken, I know that you're busy in camp and stuff, so I won't ask you if you watched the video with an interview that Broner did, but he says
No, I probably didn't.
In that interview, he says that boy and his daddy know. That boy and his daddy know when he's talking about sparring. So what are you guys supposed to know?
There's nothing we're supposed to know, man. We gonna know it all on fight night. I done whooped Adrien's ass since he was 8, 9 years old, from running around acting a fool in the hallway. So I expect Shawn to do the same thing on Saturday night. I don't expect anything. As a matter of fact, when we talking about daddies, I expect Shawn to act like he's his daddy and son him. That's my expectation.
Well, let's hear from Shawn, man. He's hiding in the back. Shawn, you going through them groceries?
Nah, man, I'm cool. Just sitting here listening.
Shawn, I'm sure you didn't get a chance to see that video, but boy.
Yeah, it's been so long since we sparred. Like my dad said, we fought Alfonso Gomez in 2012. I barely remember that sparring. It was a week, maybe 2 different sessions. But if we want to talk about boys, let's talk about the boy that's moving up to 147 and making the catchweight at 144. Why is that boy doing that? Be a man to move up to 147. But, this boy is very spoiled, gets what he wants. So we're going to give him everything he wants Saturday night.
Yo, Shawn, let me ask you a quick question. Vegas does have you a slight favorite in this fight, knowing that this is the Adrien Broner. This is the Adrien Broner that's never been an underdog in his entire life. This is really the first time, even against Marcos Maidana, I believe he's coming into the fight as an underdog. What does that mean to you? And is that exciting for you? Does that drive the fire? Or is that just something that, at least people already know I'm better than this kid?
Yeah, no, I don't care. I think it's, obviously I want people to look at me in a very positive light at all times. And, root for me and hope the best for me. So it's pretty cool to see that, people are, wanting me to, get the upper hand of this kid and do my best on Saturday night. But at the same time, I don't bet myself. So, odds and things like that, to me, they don't play a role. It's all about what's done in the ring, not what's on paper.
Yo, Shawn, this is to me like such a great fight because anytime it gets brought up, people are just debating like back and forth, and they're so passionate that Broner's going to beat you, and they're so passionate that you're going to stomp Broner, easy work, okay? But for you, when you see him working with Floyd and working with the mitts, and the fact that he's had all this big time exposure and they put all this money behind the promotional team, what is it like for you? I mean, do you feel like you're working uphill to catch him, or do you feel like now that y'all are in the ring, it's in your territory?
You know what? I can't say I feel like I'm working uphill or anything like that. Everyone out there knows that I'm a Christian. I'm gonna let God do His work. So. Everything will happen on time for me, as it always does. So with that being said, I don't care about any money being pumped into this promotion for him or, what they hope he can do, anything like that. I know myself. I know my team. I know what we can do. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm capable of, you know. So the good part about that is not only am I capable, I'm willing, and I'm willing to get in there and do whatever it takes to win this fight, you know. So they can continue to publicize this and make it his show. After this fight, it will be Showtime.
Shawn, do you think that it's a conflict of interest that Floyd Mayweather is helping him out, working with him, and he's the promoter of the fight as well? Do you see a little bit of a problem with that?
Well, you know what? I'm confident in Nevada Commission that they'll get the job done the right way on Saturday night. I also know that even though this is Floyd Mayweather's promotion, he's not directly involved with it, you know, day in and day out or anything like that. It's more so his name. You know, Adrien brought in Mayweather to help him work and prepare for me. I brought in Sugar Shane Mosley, who has you know, a lot of knowledge to this game and can still do his thing, you know. So we've got some rounds in sparring this past week, and that was phenomenal work for me, and you know, great lessons to be learned and needed work, you know, right before and preparation right before this fight, you know. So it's his guns against mine, and you know, I think, you know, for those people out there who are betting on me and rooting for me, they know that my guns are bigger.
Yo, I had no idea. I don't know if anyone else knew that that you brought in Mosley. That's crazy. What'd you get out of that? I mean, like, could he still bang? I mean, could he still move? Like, you know, how did he look?
Damn, Mario, he's not in the. Hey, Sean, he's making him sound like he's in a wheelchair.
No,
Hey.
it's not like that. But look, Shawn, come on, let's keep it real. You keep it real. Your dad keeps it real all the time. That's why our listeners love y'all. I mean, you're Shawn Porter. You know, you're in your prime. You know, you're putting back that young people strength. And you know, the last time that man was out, he lost to a fringe contender, who, you know, threw slower than molasses. So I'm just saying, like, you got something out of it. He looked good.
I tell you what, man, black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? We stay young forever. and when my dad called and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about bringing Sugar Shane in, you know, just to finish up camp. I think he's got some knowledge that he can spit on us. What do you think about that?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it." You know, so it wasn't about Sugar Shane getting in the ring, being 27, 28 years old, and making me, you know, making my heart rate go up to, you know, 250 or nothing like that. It was about him coming in, giving me some solid looks and some solid ideas and some solid knowledge that I can take to the ring with me. So with that being said, for me, it worked very well. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stick around any longer than he did, but we got the best out of it, and I think you see some things. You see some things in the ring on Saturday that you know, he's helped with. So.
Now, he's been doing a bit of coaching as of late, and he's also on this new Knockout 2 series doing some coaching there, and obviously he's done with his son. So are you talking more along those terms, that it wasn't like sparring work, it was more knowledge?
Yeah, more knowledge, more. It's you know, you gotta. We brought him in. We have a coach outside the ring. Now we got a coach in the ring. You know, so there were a few points in the sparring session where we were doing our thing, and then he was, you know, actually able to say, "Stop right here, try this, try that," and then, you know, I make that little small adjustment, and then next thing I know, the next day when I'm sparring hard against someone else, and then I'm doing those, you know, little moves or, you know, whatever, it's working and it's making me better, you know. So I think in the long run, you know, the knowledge that he gave us for this fight, and you know, for the longevity of my career was great.
Now, Sean, do you think that the media, the fans, just the public in general is putting more? I guess we're just paying more attention to this catchweight than maybe yourself, or has all the attention to the catchweight maybe giving you some butterflies or something? Maybe when you went into this, when your dad got off the phone, you were like, "Yeah, I could do that. That's only 3 more pounds." And now the more you get closer to the fight, and the more that the media builds up about these 3 pounds, has it been any different for you?
No, it hasn't, and I kind of laugh whenever it's brought up, because I kind of feel like that's the approach I should take to it anyway. But you know, I took most of yesterday off. You know, I got some solid work in early. The weight was great, and I went and got a pedicure and a massage. You know, and those are the things that when you work hard and when you keep things solid and tight in the right way, you can afford to do things like, you know, take the day off and, you know, treat yourself and comfort yourself. Make sure you're getting, you know, all the different type of recovery that you need, you know. So going into this week, I feel great, and I'm actually excited about, you know, these last few days, the last few pounds I'm going to have to shed and making weight for Friday afternoon.
Shawn, and I'll ask you the same thing I asked your dad. Obviously, going into the Brook fight, you didn't think you would lose. You were on an all-time high, obviously, you know. And
let me cut you off right there, because I understood your question, and it's a lot of the same answer that my dad gave you. You know what I mean? When you're confident and you understand what you can do, then nothing can detour you from that. The fact that our hand didn't get raised that day doesn't mean that, you know, we were overconfident or missed something. It just, that fight didn't happen for me. I didn't put it down the exact way, the 100% the way I should have, and I left it in the hands of the judges, and they took care of it, and they gave it to him, you know. So I at the same time, I'm not hanging my head about it, and I'm not letting it beat me down. I'm still just as confident that I can perform the right way on Saturday night against Adrien Broner, and I know that I'll get the job done. That's it.
Man, that was supposed to be the final question and goodbye, but now that I'm thinking about it, watching that press conference and, you know, obviously talking to Fernando, who was there with you guys, how was it for you seeing him face to face finally? I mean, I know that you've seen him in the past,
it's always tough for me, because I've somehow, you know, I'm a nice guy, quiet, humble, yada yada yada. Somehow, man, I get this burning, this fire to just want to, you know, fight when the time comes, you know. And so whenever I'm in front of my opponent, that's all I feel. That's all I can think, you know. So it's tough holding the hands down. It's tough, you know, maintaining the composure of just being a person that day, not an actual fighter about to get in the ring, you know. So with that being said, I'm excited and you know, I'm just counting down.
I don't know if anyone's ever asked you, but does it bother you, his self-entitlement, like that he's so confident and arrogant, or is that okay because you're confident yourself?
Yeah, no, I respect that. I understand that, you know, whatever you need to do to, you know, get yourself up and ready to go, that's what you have to do. I think, you know, on his side, sometimes it could be a little bit of a facade, but, you know, for me, it's 100% real. I'm always confident, and, you know, I know I'm always prepared. So I think that helps with my confidence. Understanding how prepared I am and how I've prepared, you know, lets me know that, you know, I should be as confident as I am.
Well, Shawn, I want to thank you and your dad. Obviously, you know, you guys are a week away, and we're excited and grateful to have you on. We wish you the best. I'll see you Thursday. Me and James and a couple of the other guys will be there, Shawn and Fernando. So this is a big fight. We can't wait, man. It's going down.
Thanks, man. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon.
All right. Ken, good night.
All right, later.
All right.